Hello. So there's a couple of different kinds of meditations that we can do. We're going to start with the basics. The primary two that I recommend are morning meditations and then evening meditations. So your morning meditation, you want to use at the beginning of your day to start the day. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever feels loving, whatever you feel like you have time for and that you want to do. There's nothing you have to do. But giving it a chance with 5 minutes to start and see how that feels. Using the insight timer, if you like the guided meditations, you can try that. You can also just try using the timer, and then in that space, you're just gonna. This is above and beyond when we've been triggered. So this is gonna be like our routine meditation. So we have our routine meditations. Then when we get triggered, then we have to process. We have to do CBT or visual imagery. And we're going to have another video on those two. So different forms of meditation, but this one's just going to be the basic 5 minute, 10 minute, 20 minute morning meditation where you're just checking in with yourself. So morning meditation, before you start your day, before you get talk to the kids, before you talk to your spouse, if you're able to, first thing, fall into stillness. So just sit up on the end of your bed, feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, close your eyes, turn on your insight timer so you know how long you're going to be doing it for. So you're not checking the time. And then also, again, we're conditioning your mind to certain sounds. That's a meditation sound. Start with a breath, start with your breath work. And then just kind of note your thoughts. You know, how are you feeling this morning? Are you feeling any pain anywhere? Are you holding on to anything from yesterday that you want to release? And then set intentions for the day. What do you want to do today as an act of love? How do you want to eat? How do you want to move? How do you want to talk to yourself? How do you want to talk to others? And also to setting, using maybe one of the lessons and repeating it throughout the day. So setting the intention to repeat it. I can choose peace instead. Um, all loving thoughts are true. Everything else is a call for help and healing. And then saying it to yourself enough that you repeated it so that it's stuck in your head so that you can use it throughout the day. When I was changing, the biggest changes, it was for me, it was a longer process. I didn't have individual help or a course like this to kind of guide me. That's not true. I did do a course, but it was in a book. But the main thing that changed me was changing my automatic thoughts by replacing the old pattern with the new pattern. So having the healed thoughts. So the concepts that we're learning in healed mind therapy, this is where we're aiming: compassion, love, seeing the innocence of yourself and others. So when you start practicing those consciously, you're choosing those thoughts in every moment, and you're even just choosing to like have that stream of thought because you're constantly repeating it. I can choose peace instead. I can choose peace instead. When you do that, eventually what happens is your automatic thoughts that used to be, they're making me sad, they're making me mad, I'm not enough, will be replaced with the healed thoughts. And then your automatic thoughts will be the healed ones. And then you're not going to have to do as much work. But to get there, we got to do a little bit of work. and it's going to start with morning meditation and then trying to repeat something through the day that's going to hold you in that vibrational state of the healed mind. And then I also recommend evening meditation. So evening meditation, it's ideal to do a retrospection. Retrospection is going through your day and noticing when you've been triggered. So, starting, say you just got on your bed, you're sitting at the end of your bed, you just brushed your teeth. You're gonna go from the time you sit in your bed, and then you're gonna go back to when you brushed your teeth. And then when you said something to your spouse, and then you had dinner, and you kind of would just go through your whole day and just you want to flag any time that you were triggered. So anytime you felt anxiety, anger, or sadness, and it could be slight, like just a little bit of irritation, just a little bit of annoyance, okay? Or if you had any behaviors that were unloving to yourself or others, so just noting them. So part of the path of healing is our first step is we blame everybody else, like your fault, your fault, your fault. If everybody changed, I'd be happy. Right? That's the first step. The second step is actually we can fall into is it's all my fault, right? I'm not enough. I shouldn't have got triggered. Okay. The healed mind though knows that there's nobody to blame, and that's the third step. There's nobody to blame. You're innocent, and so is everybody else. So when we're doing this work, we're going to hold that in our mind. that you have been conditioned to be this way. But we want to look at it so we can heal it. If we just ignore it because it's painful, because we're going to attack ourselves, we won't look at it. So don't attack yourself for what is your best. If you got triggered, that's okay. By seeing it, I want you to get excited. Oh my gosh, I noticed I got triggered. Most people go through their lives and they don't even acknowledge that they get triggered. They don't realize that they got triggered. They just think other people are responsible for their feelings. And when we start to take responsibility for it, that's a little trap that we can fall into, is self-attacking for getting triggered. So it's okay that you got triggered. That's how we actually heal it. We have to see it first. So being able to see it, okay, I got triggered. This is for me to heal, and then be able to shift through it. So we're going to do a retrospection. So starting from that moment at the end of your day, go back to when you woke up in the morning, note the times that you got triggered, and then do some CBT on them. So this is bedtime CBT. What is CBT again? It's shifting the perception and the thoughts around the events to have a different experience of the emotions, and then so that you can choose differently next time. So if you lost your cool or you became impatient, okay, so that's the behavior. The hidden behind that of anger is the emotion. And then there was a thought, you know, they don't respect me. If they respected me, they would do this. Because I tell myself I have to do this to make sure other people feel respected. So then we'll project that out. So then when you can see your psychology, that's how we can heal it. And then we can remind ourselves that everyone's doing their best. You're doing your best, and so is everybody else. So morning and evening meditation as like a practice every day, that feels loving. Okay, there's nothing you have to do. This is what's going to make you help you to change the most. People who are meditators have more capacity to heal quicker and to change in a more profound way, to choose the life that they want, to choose peace instead than people who don't. So give it a go. The other time that we meditate, besides morning and night, that's routine, would be as needed. So on your breaks, I don't know, when I used to work in the hospital, and when I was going through like my biggest growth periods, I would have to meditate on every break. I'd go to the break room, and I have to like, close my eyes, put my earbuds in, and have to go within and just shift the thoughts, because I kept shifting into the unhealed mind, the hurting mind, because that was the pattern. That was how I was raised. That was how I was conditioned. And I had to consciously choose to stay out of it. And so for me, there's times where I was meditating 5 times a day, just to, just to like, it felt like I was just trying to keep my head above the water, where I could breathe and I could remember the truth. So, if you're at that point, be gentle with yourself. If you're not being pulled to meditation, if you have barriers to meditation, please do come to our group on Mondays, or any day that, if it's not on Monday, or if I have a second group, just check the calendar. Please come to group and bring any barriers you have to meditation this week, because this is one of the core skills of what's going to make you an incredible self-therapist, and to help you to completely change your life. So morning meditation is going to set intention, give yourself affirmation, remind yourself of the truth of how lovable you are. Evening meditation, you're going to give yourself love and compassion and gentle correction for any time that you were triggered throughout the day, so that you can choose again the next day. All right. Have a beautiful day or evening or morning or wherever place you are. And yeah, take care.